Welcome to the Heal, Thrive, Dream podcast, where trauma survivors become healthy thrivers. Each month, we'll feature a theme in the trauma recovery and empowerment field. To promote your recovery, healing, and learning how to build dreams, here is your host, Karen Robinson, transformational coach and therapist.
Hi there. Welcome to the Heal, Thrive, Dream podcast. I'm your host, Karen Robinson. And today, my guest is Shelli Roberts. Shelli is a life alchemist, transformational energy healer, and success mentor who works with awakened souls who are feeling the call to be, do, and have more out of her life experience of trauma and inner healing. Uniquely enabled her to empower, guide, and foster healing for spiritual individuals on the same recovery journey so they may understand themselves in new ways that will enable them to become more successful, more joyful, and to unleash their passion into all aspects of their lives a lot faster than she did. So, Shelli, thank you for being here today.
It's a pleasure, Karen. Thank you for having me.
So I read your short bio. I know you have a much longer bio. Is there anything about your personal or professional experiences so far that you just want to get out of the gate and share with us right away?
Just that being in a place of holistic healing is super powerful these days as people realize how quickly they can actually make shifts in their lives. I think that there's a greater willingness to try it. I think that a lot of people are tolerating their circumstances, tolerating the way things are, tolerating what is causing them struggle and pain. And I just want to say you don't have to tolerate. You can shift it and have a more joyful, more empowered experience of living.
Very beautiful. And Shelli, as your short bio says, you are yourself a trauma survivor, as am I. So I want to say I'm sorry for any and all traumatic events that you've been through. And of course, it's your decision on what you shared today. But is there a part of your story that you're willing to share with our audience today?
I think trauma comes in all kinds of different forms, and what is traumatic for one person may not be as traumatic for another. So there's also levels of trauma, if you will. But it's all trauma, and it's all very forms and shape us and in various ways. And I would just want to say it impacts us in ways that we don't necessarily see right away in ourselves. And that was my experience. The nature of my trauma was years and years of narcissistic abuse from multiple family members, my ex-husband, later on, my daughter. And she was growing up as a teenager, reflecting back what her experience with her father had been. And then with family members, my aunt, my own mother, was a covert narcissist. You don't have a sense of how it impacts you until you're on the other side of your healing journey. It's just been a very powerful journey, but it's been a lifetime of healing for me. And my mission is to help others realize that some of their experiences are having these negative impacts that are holding them back in their lives. So my passion is to help them recognize and move through them so that they can put it behind them and elevate their lives in ways that they never could have even imagined, even remotely imagined.
Yeah, during your healing journey, I'm guessing you've tried lots of different things. How did you stumble upon that energy healing would be so powerful for you and the people that you work with?
That's a good question. I think I was running into, as I was kicking off my business, I was running into visibility issues. And it was during a time when I was putting a summit together where I was having to record myself. I was at a point in my life where I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. And here I was having face-to-face conversations being recorded that would then be released to a very large audience. And I was struggling with that. I didn't realize that was going to come up. But for the first time in my life, I felt like the people that I was interviewing We're energy healers and healers of various different modalities, providing services to not necessarily traumatized people, but people and their life experiences in various other ways. And I think that was a turning point for me because on the other side of it, as these things tend to work, I ended up getting a promotion at work because guess what? I was willing to be more visible. And so the ripple effect of these is the healing and getting out of your comfort zone and addressing these kinds of things can be super powerful. Resulted in by moving through my discomfort and releasing it, and through talking through various healers and what they do and the impact that they've been having in people's lives, it was moving to me. And to be in a place where I could facilitate their visibility more broadly to get their work out into the world was very gratifying for me. And then having the impact back to me was surprising. Shouldn't have been, but it was phenomenal how that worked. But I think that awareness was what shifted for me. One of the women that she was an intuitive coach and was a powerful energy healer. And I followed up with her to actually have several healing sessions. And that really exposed to me the power of those kinds of modalities and the work that I hadn't been exposed to myself prior to then. Reiki, a little bit of Reiki opening my chakras and that kind of thing, feeling more energized. But the work that she did was that on steroids. The combination of the energy healing with the coaching, I found to be incredibly powerful because not only were we able to work through the things that were coming up for me at the time, but then the energy healing literally did clearing, releasing, shifting in ways that I hadn't been exposed to before. The only modalities that I had been in my trauma recovery journey was, and this was years and years ago, were therapists. And they didn't even, it was before they even acknowledged that narcissistic abuse had a syndrome associated with it and those who had been abused. They didn't recognize any of that. And talking through it was not particularly healing for me. It was just resurfacing the things that I had been through. The energy healing doesn't hit it directly on. So having the ability to address things that are under the surface without necessarily revisiting them was a very powerful modality for me in my journey, where the professionals that I was working with, and admittedly, they were what was available to me, not what I would have chosen, is probably a good way to say it. They weren't the best in the area that I could have chosen for myself, and it was not a very I felt like I was throwing money down the drain because it didn't feel like it was helping me. So gratefully, we've got a lot more understanding about narcissistic abuse. There are literally entire training programs for therapists and professionals, and that alone is gratifying to me that we've come so far from the journey that I've been on. But I think what impresses me the most now is that there are professionals like you, Karen, who are bringing forward a more holistic approach, and they're looking more broadly than just what's going on in our minds, for example. And that's the type of thing that, from my belief structure and my experience working as an energy healer, you have to shift the energy first, and then the rest falls into place. If you haven't done so, then you're going to boomerang back, you're going to boomerang back, you're going to boomerang back. That is one of the things that I feel is incredibly powerful in marrying multiple modalities in that way in our trauma
Yes.
recovery journey.
Yes, there's lots of work to be done, and I think it takes a village. I'm a huge believer in having different types of practitioners in your life during your healing journey because everybody has a set of expertise. And even myself, who's trying to be more holistic, there's areas of therapeutic modalities I might be weaker in that it's good to go on and refer. And we can help each other's businesses and also give the best experience we can to our clients. So I think that's
Absolutely.
beautiful, very
Absolutely.
beautiful. So tell me about the work you do with your clients. For example, do group sessions? Is it just one-on-one? Do you work with families or couples? Tell me a little more about how your practice works.
I am focused one-on-one, and part of the reason why is because there's no one size fits all in your healing journey, especially when you're dealing with trauma. It tends to have compound things related to it, complex interrelationships of a trauma complex. And so the one-on-one is, I find, to be the most effective. So I focus on that. And also my focus is in helping people overcome the things that would hold them back from their greatest success and their most expansive, fulfilling experience of their lives. And trauma is definitely an area that holds us back if we haven't addressed and moved through the blocked emotions and our body. One of the most profound works that I came across was incredibly enlightening to me was The Body Keeps the Score.
I
And
love that book.
yeah, seminal work, and I applaud it because we're in the professional therapy realms, we're embracing it and looking at it at things more holistically than we ever have before now. So that was profound for me because I was thinking it was a mindset thing, and I was thinking in my healing journey before I started down this road. And it's not, it's so much more. And so being able to delve into all the facets and dislodge them and repattern them and release them, I think is just incredibly powerful. But because everybody's experience is their own and different experience, how they grew up, influences, I'm finding too that now more than ever, we've got past life things that are coming up and ancestral
Mm-hmm.
lineage things coming up. So all of that comes into play in our experience of our lives and also how we process our trauma. So one-on-one is the answer for me at the moment, and I'm focused on what are the things that are standing in your way of your greatest success. So that's where the success mentor comes in. I tend to work with angel guides, archangel guides prominently, higher dimensional energy, channel the frequencies from the divine and higher dimensions. There's quite a few higher dimensions that I work with. And they guide me in what is most impactful for the individual. And it tends to get to the core issue when we go into the Akashic records. There's no one size fits all. So it's whatever our divine spirit team brings forward that is going to be the most efficient and most impactful for the individual. And they literally uproot it and get rid of it. And it tends to be for good, but we're addressing the things that are ready to be gotten rid of. So sometimes
Right.
there's deeper work that needs to be done, obviously. But the things that are ready, we're able to release them and let them go, and they no longer stand in the person's way. So that's been very gratifying work for me.
Yes, it's very powerful and empowering work.
Yeah.
Okay, so I hear you. You do it mostly one-on-one or only one-on-one. But in this point in your career, and I'm not sure how long you've been doing energy healing, but I'm curious if you're teaching at all at this point. Do you have courses, workshops? Do you have a book or planning to write a book? I want to know if there's more that you have planned. And if you don't, it's okay too. Your work is already powerful.
It's all of the above. I'm a contributing author on a couple of magazines, Awakened Magazine and Women Thrive Magazine. I am working with the New Earth One Network for a summit upcoming in, right now it's looking like June 2025, and that will be for anchoring in your inner harmonic of success and fulfillment. So it's all about creating the inner space of your resonance so that you call in your success and your fulfillment. And as we've been talking about, a lot of that has to do with shifting out of a victimized mindset, right? And healing the trauma in your experiences in order to be able to bring in that higher harmonic and experience that higher octave living, if you will. So those are upcoming. I have courses, online courses that I offer, more coming all the time. One of the series is the Wolf That You Feed series, and I teach and
Mhm.
also do energy healing modalities in within those. The Wolf That You Feed series is about quick hit, they're mini courses, so quick hit things like addressing your self-sabotage or imposter syndrome or raising your vibration. It's positive as well as healing. I have one that's free that talks about life visioning and how to set up your personal manifesto. So you've got a North Star to guide you in your most inspired life. Meet Claire, where I teach you how to recognize and cultivate your various Claire intuitive faculties. So there's a broad spectrum.
Yeah,
I have a
a
whole
lot. You
page in
offer a
my
lot.
Yeah, I've been doing this for 6 years, and so it tends to be relevant in different ways as you move forward. I also have a page on my webpage that is free resources. So anytime that I did a promotional bundle with free resources in it, I offer it on the website and people can opt into that as well. So if any of those resonate, they're easily found. So yeah, all of the above.
Oh, that's really wonderful. That's nice because sometimes when I have somebody that offers one-on-one, and sometimes people just aren't quite ready. They want to experience you in different ways before they make that decision. So that's where the courses and things can be really beautiful.
Absolutely.
Now, for how do people find you? What is your website?
The easiest way is through the website. It is joyfultransformation.life. There's a contact page that goes straight into my email inbox, and the login button is where the course selection can be found on my course platform. So those are the two best ways right now.
Awesome. I look forward myself to checking that out more because when I prepare for a podcast, it's just a broad stroke looking through things. So now I get to maybe take my time a little bit and get to explore. So that's really exciting. Thank you, Shelli, for the work that you do for our world. And thank you for being such a valued guest on the Heal Thrive Dream podcast.
Thank you, Karen. It's been a delight talking with you and being here for your audience today.
Thank you for listening in today. Please join us next week, same day and time. Also, I would love for you to check out my website, healthrivedream.com.